Hello there, this is Jenny from Designs with Paper. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I am going to be making 8 cards in a few minutes with one paper pad. I picked up this greenery paper pad by Recollections at Michael's, and one of the pages is this page with 8 tags, 6 sentiment strips. And I have pulled out 8 papers from the paper pad that kind of coordinate, and I am going to make a really quick card set using these papers and these tags. So my first plan of action is to trim down the tags and the sentiments and cut some pieces of paper from each sheet and then figure out which pattern paper and which tag kind of coordinate together. I don't want the tag and the background paper to be too closely the same color, just for visual interest. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is start with this tag that says today is a nice day. And I didn't trim it down as closely as it needed to be when I first trimmed it, so I'm going to just trim off that edge real quick. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this tag right down onto this pattern paper, but I did decide to go ahead and put some baker's twine through the tag hole. This is sped up super fast, like 1.5 times normal speed, and a lot of it has been edited out because I was off camera. Sorry about that. You get the gist of most of the card. You get most of the gist of all of the cards. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to kind of lay this on here kitty corner. I am going to adhere it with some foam tape. I'm going to pull out my 3M foam tape roll. I am starting to get low on this. I'm going to have to get on Amazon and get me another roll. And I'm just going to put 3 strips of foam tape right across the back of this tag and add it to the front of that pattern paper panel. That pattern paper piece has been trimmed down to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So it creates the card panel for the front of an A2 size card. So voila, we're almost done with card number 1. All that is left is to add this to a card base. So I went through my cardstock and picked out 2 colors of green. One is a lighter green, kind of a seafoam. One is a darker green, kind of a forest green. So we're going to go half and half. This particular card, I'm using the lighter green. I will cut it to be 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches and score it in the middle at 5 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and fold it and burnish that crease with my bone folder and then adhere the whole panel to the front of this card with my ATG gun. I did not get this on super straight, but I was trying to kind of get through this quick, so I did go back and adjust it after I had the video on recorded. The tag is hanging off a bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim those little pieces of cardstock down and move on to pattern or card tag. There we go, tag number 2. This tag does not have a sentiment on it, but it does have a to and from, and I don't really care for that. It's more of a gift tag than a card front. So once I get the edges of this tag trimmed down, I am going to go ahead and trim off that to from and then flip it over and use the back side. I thought about just folding it over and creating a gift card insert for it, but not on the front of a card, right? That's kind of weird for the front of a card. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off. I am lining it up with one of the grid lines on my guillotine trimmer to make sure that I can get it nice and straight. And I will put it on the front. First thing I want to do is go ahead and adhere this tag top down to the front of my card. I am kind of going in at an angle because why not? And because I trimmed it off, I can make this a shorter tag. So 2 wins, right? I made it work and I made it fit. So there we go. I did decide it needed a little bit something, so I pulled in one of the sentiments that were also on this tag page, and I'm going to trim the little whole eyelet off and trim the tail, trim the whole strip down just a little bit, and adhere that with a little piece of foam tape as well. Just gives it a little bit of dimension for a card that is, pretty simple and easy to put together. Just going to kind of lay that there, hang it off the edge of the tag just a bit. It's not super duper straight. Don't care. I do care. Just kidding. I did go back and fix that as well. I'm going to use that same light green paper for my card base. I'm going to fold it and score it and burnish it and adhere the card front to this card base. And now we are down 2 cards. So when you have a big stack of pattern paper, it is really easy to create a lot of cards. I did decide that it needed a little something something, and I pulled out this gold washi tape from Altenew and just added a strip of washi tape to the front of that card. Okay, card number 3. I have this two-tone tag with no sentiment on it, and I got it on a piece of that leafy paper. And I'm going to take this sentiment that has also got a hole and a tag end on it, and I'm just going to adhere them together with baker's twine. This baker's twine has been in my stash for a hot minute, and it is a green and white baker's twine, so I thought it was kind of perfect for this pattern paper. Once I have that baker's twine through and knotted, I can go ahead and add that tag down. I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to add it down, if I wanted the sentiment to be straight up and down, to be kind of sideways. I decided to go ahead and trim that tag down so it could go up and down and fit inside the panel on that card. Again, that panel is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, so slightly smaller than the card front. And I just kind of didn't want that tag to hang off or be the whole length of the card front either. All right, so here we are again with our card base. This is the light green cardstock still, scored at 5 1/2 inches to create a top folding A2 size card. This is a US A2 size card. I decided to add a little bit more gold bling with that gold washi tape, and I put a strip of washi tape right on the side of that card. It kind of makes it look like that there is a piece of gold paper sticking up from behind the layer off the card base itself, and it's just a little bit more bling, just a little bit more pretty. This gold washi tape from Altenew, I've had it for a while, and it has really lasted a long time. It's really pretty. It's not super shiny, but it is a nice, pretty, warm gold. I really like it. It's kind of a matte more than a glossy finish. All right, next card. Again, a card or a tag without a sentiment. So I'm going to take this I love you tag, or this love you tag, and trim it down so that it is small enough to fit right on the front of this card, the tag. I'm going to add a piece of the washi tape right at the top of the tag. Just kind of hang it over the edges and fold it over. I can then adhere the love you sentiment right below that gold washi tape with my ATG gun. And boom, we're ready to put that on the card. I am going to slip this all the way over to the left. I don't know why. Usually I tend to go for more center, but whatever, it works. I am going to also add the baker's twine. There we go. The baker's twine to the tag, the hole in the tag, and that is that card. We're just kind of moving right along here. We're going to adhere that to a light green card base as well, and I think this is like card number 4 already. So one of the awesome things about these 12 by 12 paper stacks is that you really can make a card kit or a card set in under an hour. The raw footage of this video was not even 40 minutes. And that included the time it took me to answer the phone, pick the colors of pattern paper for the cardstock, all that stuff. So it really is a quick way to make a bunch of cards. So on to card number 5, I guess. I have a plaid kind of background and a tag with just a leaf on it. I have taken that love you tag, or the love you sentiment strip, and trimmed it down to fit right across the top of this tag. And then I decided I didn't want that to be a tag. So I am going to go ahead and stick that image into my trimmer and trim off the tag top, because then I can lay this kind of kitty corner on my card panel and have it stay inside the dimensions of that card panel. This is the dark green cardstock I have pulled out. They're both Stampin' Up! Cardstocks. I can't remember the name of the cardstocks. I don't really coordinate things by name. I just kind of pick out the ones that I think look the best. All right, so I've got this card front down onto my card base, kind of. It wasn't straight at all. It's a little bit harder to see because it's such a dark green against my black grid mat. And I am popping this leaf, the foliage image, up with some foam tape. I do like to use my grid mat to line up my card base and my card panel. It helps me kind of get them on there straight-ish. I've added the love you sentiment, and I am going to put a little piece of foam tape right under the part of that sentiment that is hanging off the left-hand side. just to keep it from getting bent or damaged. I feel like this needs a little bit of gold washi tape as well, so I'm going to stick a little strip of gold washi tape right along that love you sentiment. I thought about the bottom, decided to go ahead and put it along the top, mostly because the tape I tore off was too short. Okay, so this tag, I didn't want to have a tag either, and I decided to trim off those words and pop them up on some foam squares and add them right to the gold lines on this green tag. I did that way too far off camera, so I just edited that part out. I think my camera has moved just a little bit, and it was hard for me to see the trimmer, so I kind of moved it off camera. Anyway, I am using my reverse tweezers to line up these enjoy every moment words. I don't care if they're straight. If you notice, those gold stripes on that green background aren't straight either. So it would be kind of weird if I went to a bunch of effort to make it look like those words were perfectly straight. I am going to add a strip of gold washi tape across the paper for the card front on this card. I'm just using my grid mat to make sure it gets on there mostly straight, and then taking my ATG gun and adding some adhesive to the back of that panel and adding that panel to my card front right there across the top. Enjoy every moment. And then we're adding a card base. See how fast this is? They do all of the work for you. All of the papers coordinate. All you have to do is put them together. And you will notice I did not use one stamp in these cards. You don't have to have stamps to make cards. So here we are on a tag that has a really nice long sentiment on it. It says, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And it's on kind of a dahlia or a peony style foliage background. I am going to kind of try and get that to go on just slightly kitty corner. I will add some baker's twine to the tag, because a tag with a hole punched in it without the baker's twine is a little bit weird. I don't know. I guess in my brain it just needs to have the ribbon or the twine or something through it. And now we're ready to go. We're just going to go ahead and ATG tape this down to the card base, or sorry, the card panel. And it's got the sentiment and the gold in it. So it really is a card front all on its own. If I could get it to stick to something other than my fingers, that is. Okay, here we go. Now it's just a card base using that dark green cardstock again. It is a top folding A2 size card, like all of the cards in this video have been. I will pop this card panel up with some foam tape, give it a little bit of dimension. One cool thing about this particular paper pad is that a lot of the pages already have some gold foil details to them, like this tag right here. This tag has a gold foil trim all the way around the edge. And then it has that beautiful green foliage right in the middle. I am going to take these two banners that say hello, and I'm going to trim a fishtail in the white one because it didn't have one already. And then I am going to stack the white one on top of the green one, and I'm going to adhere them both to the tag with some washi tape, kind of how we did before. I kind of thought it was cute to have that say hello, hello. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter because I liked it. All right, we've got the washi tape, or the baker's twine through the tag and through the sentiments. And I am going to add just a little bit of tape to hold those banners down. But first I need to adhere this tag to my card panel. This particular card panel is kind of a greenish gray. It looks kind of a little bit like concrete actually, but with a green undertone. And I want to have those tags hang slightly off to the side so they're not covering that pretty little, I think it looks like an olive leaf myself, but the little foliage. And then I'm going to add it to a card base. Once I have this card panel added to the card base, I will trim off anything that hangs over the card base so that it doesn't get bent or broken in an envelope. So I think this is like card 7 or card 8. We're rocking and rolling, man. All right, so I just have to trim a couple of those banners off the edge, and voila. There's 8 cards. 8 cards in about 15 minutes. Thanks so much. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Do me a favor, have a really fabulous day. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel and watching my video. I have linked a couple other videos here for you to watch, as well as a subscribe button. If you have not done so already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. And if you know somebody who would like it, please feel free to share. Have a great day.